Here we
My, oh
are.
my.
Finally, huh?
Hey, hey.
It worked.
I was worried for a moment there, guys. I ain't gonna lie.
We did it.
We're just
So
waiting
Natalie's
for.
coming. Natalie and Chucky, I think. Can Chucky do it from her
You look so
phone?
nice, Corey.
Say it.
So you look so nice.
This is my morning look.
Like it. There she is. Hey, Natalie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. So explain to me, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't send out a link? Natalie.
Hi. Forget.
So what do you mean you don't send out a link?
So on Hangouts we have to where you have to be friends or whatever with everybody, and you send out, it's like a text message, and then you just go to that text message and open it up and go to the video feed.
And everybody can see everybody?
That's on the phone, though, right?
You can do it on your computer also. It's both.
I can't figure out where the link is that you can invite people, where they show up on the video, where everyone shows up on the video.
Yeah,
This is
see right
what-
there, there's like a group text message, and so you open it.
Okay.
Well, at least we got this far this time, so that's a good thing.
True.
Yeah, this is an advancement. Huge.
Where's Dr. Crawford? Dr. Crawford's in the wrong place. He's just
Yeah,
messaging
He's
me.
in a chat. He's in the wrong place.
Where is he?
He's in some kind
In
of
like
chat.
the chat.
Well, I know.
What do you mean when you know? Where's the link? Go to your email. He said,
I didn't get no email yet.
you should have.
Oh.
There he is.
Whoa! Hey guys.
Got to see.
It's getting crazy.
Uh-oh, this is crazy.
Hey, Jared, I don't think you sent Chucky the email. She
I
doesn't
did.
have it.
I did twice, but I can do it again.
She's in the feed. I can see it.
Oh, Chucky, come here. You didn't get an email because you're on the email list. Okay. Just come
I
sit.
have sent it to her individually just now.
Yeah.
What's her name on Hangouts?
Who, Chucky?
Is she under Mariana or Chucky?
Chucky, are you on Google Plus? What? She doesn't know if she's on there, but she's trying to find her thing. Go ahead and start. She can hear. She's in the other room.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let's just kind of recap. You know, how many people would you guys say were getting on the RD call? I want to kind of talk about that and figure out where we're at with the RD call. How many people you think of your RDs are getting on? Are we getting on more than we think or much less than we think?
Jared, for me, most of my RDs are not on the call. They're not there to the evening time. So what I do is I just host another call later on in the evening time because none of them are getting on in the morning.
Okay. All right. Who's doing a call directly after this call?
We are.
You guys?
I probably have 9 on.
What's that?
I probably have 9
Okay.
on.
So,
I only have 4 or 5.
and do you do it directly after this call, Natalie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. then Corey, how many do you usually have on when you're doing it at night? Do you have like a scheduled time?
Yeah, I do it at a set time in the evening time, right around 6:30 on Friday, because that's everyone's off work and it's a chance for them to talk. Usually when I do that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, 6.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So tell me kind of. Let's just kind of go through what we want to cover with our RDs. I mean, how do you guys feel like we can make this more productive? So we're growing and developing these people rather than just. I feel like when we get off of this meeting right here, it's kind of a toss of a coin as to who's getting told what and when, and if there's any way to actually measure that. What do you guys suggest?
You mean this call or the next call?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how we can make the RD call step it up a little bit. So, I mean, we know who's getting on it. We know who's listening. The content is relevant and very helpful week to week. I know there's always got to be things we got to just cover over and over again, and I understand that, like upcoming events and stuff like that. I mean, just because we said it last week doesn't mean we should talk about vitality every week until vitality. But there are certain things that I feel like we want them on this call to get something from it, so they can turn around and go out and talk to their people. And it would be smart if they had their own little RD call themselves, where they had their group of 4 or 5 people to relay the messages. So I don't even know if they're turning around and relaying messages to their groups. And if they're not, then it kind of defeats the purpose of us training the RDs and having the special call for them if they're not turning around and communicating. So I just want to create the most effective way to do that, so we're not just doing this just to do it. But do you guys have any suggestions on that?
I think we do a training, not just announce events, but do something that's really relevant to day-to-day stuff. Like I don't even remember what call it was. You guys were on it probably when Ernest Ross was talking about opening and closing the month, and he was saying, forget the opening and closing the month. What about opening and closing the day? And that really hit me strong, thinking, okay, we need to do a day-to-day kind of, okay, what do I do to open my day? What do I do during the day? What do I do to end my day? I mean, if we had something like that, each call, it was some little aspect that was really relevant to day-to-day working in this business. I don't know necessarily what they are, but pick out the things we learn on and have one particular topic that is there. Make the announcements and then just hit one topic. That's not always go through, here's opening, here's close. It seems like our calls are getting real repetitive about what we're doing.
Okay, I like it.
Hey, Jared, can I
Good
ask?
training.
I think what Dr. Crawford said about doing a training, I think it's going to be important, because with us right now, my team is, they're not getting any new nuggets. They need nuggets. They need something that's going to get them, to get through whatever they're going through. And so if we have some specific action step on what they can do from the simplest format, I think that would be a huge opportunity for them to kind of maybe re-engage in the process. I can only speak for my own team, and I know they're not necessarily the barometer of the group, but I know at the same time the training aspect and making them want to come to the call, it's got to be something they want to get on. And when they keep thinking it's repetitive, I think that's why I'm getting less and less response time for them getting on the call, because they feel like it's the same old, same old. Even though we know the repetition is important, we got to give them something to look forward to coming on the call for. That's just my thought.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
I do
Okay,
too.
so Rockstar Challenger is the solution, right? So I think that whatever RD goes, Rockstar Challenger does the training and talks about what they got, because we all should go Rockstar Challenger every month. So they get on and they say what happened by going Rockstar Challenger, and they get to be featured.
Okay. I like that. I mean, that would be ideal, as everyone, you know, the person that just went Rockstar Challenger trains on what they did. We just got to make sure that we have a pool of RDs going Rockstar Challenger every month and keeping track of that.
The other idea I have is if they were coming every Friday for their assignments for that next week, like, okay, this week you need to focus on, and one of them, of course, is going to be Rockstar Challenger, but giving them assignments like, you need to pull this report this week, and you need to make these phone calls this week, or, you know, so that week after week, some of those things are going to be repetitive, but like the opening of the month and the closing of the month, those are going to be a little bit different, and maybe that would help like keep them like focused and like, okay, I'm coming on Friday to get my assignment of what I'm going to work on for the week, and then like they may be more like, okay, I got to be on this call because I got to know what I'm supposed to do this week, and like month after month it's going to be the same kind of thing, but maybe that would help get them more anxious to get on, to feel like, okay, I need to know this for this month or this week.
Yeah, I like that. I think doing like a week to week, maybe having a sheet for the week, you know, that we fill out over 7 days of kind of what we should be doing up until the next call would be great. I mean, you know, us all individually communicating with our RDs and having a conversation, making sure they listen to the call, and then getting a report from our RDs that they reached out. I mean, if we just had our RDs reaching out to everybody in their group once a week, you know, just to ask a question, maybe we make it that simple. Like, what's the question of the week? Just to give them a reason to call and touch base, because just keeping that communication will be very, very important for the team. So, I mean, having a weekly thing, I'm all about that. I like I like the daily thing too. I mean,
what about, since we're doing John Maxwell stuff, what about a segment once a week about a particular thing out of a John Maxwell book that has some nugget that he gives that we share with the whole group, and training our RDs and NDs and things on leadership, and, you know, take a little highlights out of that, and, you know, train them to be leaders. That would be a training session.
I like it.
Hey, Jared, let me ask a question. When you first started the conversation, you had asked the question about how are we disseminating the information from our RDs, and are the RDs, you know, disseminating that information to their lower levels of their directors and their associates. What's your thought on inviting, like, the leaders who are running, that are doing, like, I just feel like at the end of the day, like you just said, if we're having the conversation, we're getting our RDs on the call, but yet and still they're not disseminating that information down to their associates and directors below them, we're still not getting that word out. Like, somewhere along the line is lost in translation. So what about if, you know, I don't know how you do it, and I don't know if it just strictly has to be an RD call, but what if there are some leaders that are a part of the group that you feel are trying to run, that are, you know, showing that they're showing up every month, and they actually get a chance to get on this call, even if they're not an RD, but they're in that leadership role? Because I think that way we help build their lid up, so now they're actually learning how to run a little bit more, and they're getting the information directly from us instead of it being passed through and filtering out as by the time it gets to them. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
So are you thinking about having like just brand new associates that are running to be on which call?
Well, on the 9 o'clock RD call that we're doing RD and above, and I'm not saying every brand new associate, but I'm saying if there's someone who's running for RD, or someone who's been putting in the work, and if for whatever reason they're getting lost in translation because maybe the RD that they're below is not effective in regards to putting out their information or giving them the support or what have you. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to create that person and build that leader up. And the best way I know about doing that is that they're getting their mentorship directly from the horse's mouth, per se, as opposed to, you know, it being filtered through someone who maybe is like a second level tier who may not be able to effectively, you know, have that conversation with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we got to do something to get them more engaged. You know, having them get on the RD call, I think that's the easy solution as far as letting them kind of be a fly on the wall. It takes away kind of the prestige of getting on the RD call, but right now the RD call isn't even as prestigious in and of itself. But that's what I want to make it a better call. So, you know, I don't know. I think there's like wisdom behind what ViSalus does with like ambassadors and certain ranks where they you know, you just don't get on a certain call or come in a room and tell you're a certain thing, and there is whether people like it or not, there is this desire to want to be a certain rank because of the way that they do it, and so getting people on the RD call that aren't, I don't know. I mean, I'm open to whatever. If that's the solution, I don't care. I mean, we can do it, or we can just figure out a way to get the message out better to those people that are running. If the RDs aren't communicating with those people, then maybe we just reach out to them and don't rely on the RDs rather than invite them on the call. I don't know. I'm just speaking out loud. So if anyone has any suggestions,
Jared?
You know, yo.
Hey, so my suggestion is, why don't we ask them where they need to be trained and what they need to be taught on? Because everybody might, the RDs, when we get them on the call, why don't everybody give a suggestion of something that they feel that they need, instead of us trying to figure out what they need?
Okay.
I mean, why don't we ask them where they feel that they need training or where they need help?
That's a good idea. I mean, we could do that. I like that. We could take a minute and say, hey, what topics do you want to be trained on next week? And heck, I could send out, if there were like 5 or 10 topics that people come up with, I could send out like a survey immediately after the RD call to all the RD, and with the 5 topics, and within a day we can just take the topic that has the highest percentage of people wanting trained on and just do that for the next. That way we know for a fact what people want. So I like that idea.
And then maybe at the end of the call, maybe at the end of the call, you know, like I said, we could have that Rockstar Challenger moment where whoever's done it could just share for a few minutes, you know, what they did.
Okay. I like that too. So.
And one other thing, you know, Tara told us the other day when she was on our team call, the 5 things. You know how John Maxwell does 5 things every day. He reads, he writes, he files. You know.
Yeah.
And she said how the top leadership in ViSalus figured out the 5 things we should do related to ViSalus. And you know, those 5 things, we could, you know. They're like, they should be our Bible. 5 things that we should be doing every day is 1, challenge others. 2, follow up with the ones we challenge. 3, be on the challenge every day. 4, be in a challenge party daily, whether we're closing one out or something, one-on-one. And then 5, personal development. Those are the 5 things we should do every day as a ViSallian.
Okay. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
we, you know, we could break that down and have somebody, okay, who challenged somebody, whatever, you know, number 2, who followed up, give us a testimony on following up. 3, somebody on the challenge, maybe somebody, we highlight somebody who had success that week on their personal challenge. You know, I'm just throwing stuff out.
No, I like that. That's good. That's all That's all good stuff. Okay. Well, I can just put that all on paper, and I just think it'd be important it's a little more consistent and systematic every week that we're getting people, like you guys are all saying, new content with a purpose, not just another, 30 minutes or 40 minutes of just talking that, not that that's bad, but I think people will get on if there's like, a new way, a different way to look at something or a new way to say something. And then last, before we only have 4 minutes left, I wanted to mention, so there's obviously a rotation going on between all of us as far as who's kind of running the ship every week. And the idea, that's kind of a lid program within itself. So, not that there's anyone that doesn't have the capability of running the call, but, when you're running this call, you should know what the subjects are in advance. So, by Thursday evening, we should have an email thread that just helps us understand exactly what's going to be said on the call, who's going to be the trainer on the call, all the ins and outs, and then whoever's hosting it on the call. I mean, is there anyone that feels like the host shouldn't rotate on a weekly basis? Anybody against that? I don't know if I'm like the only one that feels like it should, but if there's a reason why the host shouldn't rotate every week, I'd love to hear why. And if we do rotate every week, then that means there's full ownership. I mean, if you can't do it, don't call me. You're welcome to call me, but call the next person in line. Like, take ownership of the order that we're going to go in, and be prepared. Like, everyone's coming to listen. You're driving this vehicle for 30 minutes, and with your RDs and this call right here. And so, the more prepared that we come to this call, the more prepared we'll be on the RD call. And I just want, and plus, some of us are techno savvy, some of us aren't. But at the end of the day, this is basic stuff that we have to learn how to do the Google Plus stuff and how to get on with our mics and log in and blah blah blah. I mean, look at the troubles we had just over the last 2 weeks. But we as presidentials and ambassadors and higher, like we should all, this should be a standard that we all can do stuff like this, easily. So, anyway, why don't we just set up an order right now? Let's just go in alphabetical order. So, who's the first? Go by last name. So you have C. Any B's? Any A's? Jared asked. I guess that would be me, but I'm doing it this week. So next week,
Corey. If you're going alphabetical, Crawford, Crawford, Erickson,
then Chris, then Erickson,
Then Home Jack.
Home Slice. Hey, Home Slice, smile. We can see you.
Are you two in bed together?
Yes.
Oh my
That's
God.
all kind of Google Hangout.
Yeah.
We're on the wrong channel.
Yeah.
It's
That's why
Hey, Delilah, don't say too much, okay?
I know. Lila. And her Vigear, man.
It took me like, I thought for 15 minutes that was like a new assistant that Corey hired, because like you were so hidden in your outfit, and you were so like you didn't want to move because you felt like your boss was going to fire you.
I know. I gotta be very careful.
And then you looked up and I go, oh, it's Delilah.
I'm after Chucky. I'm writing. I'll figure out the order. Okay.
Okay. Hey, and last thing is our leadership retreat for all of us. The 19th of July. And we're kind of deciding to do it in southern or northern Utah. Just get here. Wherever we decide, just get here. We'll decide it probably today.
July 19th.
Yeah, July 19th. And
What
if you
about
can
the
just,
LST?
what's that?
Aren't we doing the LST that day?
Yeah, that's in the morning, and so I think people will come in on July 19th. We'll have that done. We'll figure that out.
Do you want
But-
to change it to the instead of that night?
What happened to the 15th?
Nothing.
The 15th is the group
That's
challenge party.
my house? July 15th? Or is that just group challenge party?
Group challenge party, and then the 19th is the LST. We're into the night.
Words. Okay.
All right, so we're getting on the phone call for the leadership, right? Because I texted that out on the phone.
Yeah.
Right,
Get on.
Jared?
Are you talking about the phone call that we're normally on?
Yeah, it's right now.
Okay, so you want me to log on to that? I'll log on. Okay. Okay, sounds good, guys.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.